The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me. Here we go. Oh my God. If you knew what went on today. So let me just, first of all, welcome to What's the Story with Maria. I want to make sure, this is public. So we are going live right now. And so this is, my name is Maria. This is What's the Story with Maria. And it has been one hell of a crazy day. And I'll tell you why. My guests are going to be patient. I have to tell the story. Bill Goffey has joined us. Hi, Bill Goffey. So today I woke up and my alarm clock was off and I thought, maybe I unplugged it by accident. And then I walked through the rest of the house. Hi, Suzanne Mason has joined us. David Slauson has joined us. Yes, Billy loves the background. Thank you, Bill. You know Billy Goffey. He's a friend of John's too.
Yeah, hey, Bill. How are you?
So I opened my front door and there was a note from the landlord saying that the whole building was out because it was an electrical emergency and Con Edison was going to have the building out until 6 p.m. I thought, oh my God, my show's at 9. Is it going to be back on in time? So what did I do? I went to the gym. I said, I'm not going to focus on this. Got back home. It was 6 o'clock and it still wasn't on. So I called both of these wonderful people and I said, listen, we have to go to plan B. And so I called Judy Mesa. Thank you, Judy Mesa. And said, can we borrow your apartment? And she was like, sure. And now here's the irony of this. The show was going to be called The Jersey Show because both of these wonderful singers are from Jersey. And John, when I was talking to John, said, we should call my friend Lisa. She's from Jersey too. So as the higher power would have it, our show is also coming to you live from Jersey. New York is in the background, though.
There it is.
There it is. There's New York in the background, the skylight. And so here we are. Chris DePiero is a Jersey guy. Hi, Chris. Chris, we're broadcasting from Judy's because there was an electrical. Con Ed is working on my building, and there's no lights or power.
Is it just your building or is the area?
Just my building. So Scott Evan Davis has joined us, incredible playwright. Hey, Scott, I was going to call you this week. You should be on my show. Scott is an amazing playwright. Lauren Moran Mills, also a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
She was on the show a few weeks ago. Ed Kutu, my friend, he's in Connecticut, Rocky Hill, Connecticut. He has a salon called Blade Salon. Let me see who's coming. These are our regulars that pop on every week. Okay, so we are in Jersey. We're doing a Jersey show. My friend Chris DePiero has a show called Live from Jersey, funny enough. So he's another Jersey guy. Yes, fellow Jerseyans, Lauren. Lauren has a radio show as well. So anyway, okay, so I've been trying to get Michael Vaccaro is on. Hey, we know Michael. He's famous and cute as a button. He's
famous.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to have John on for a while because John and I were talking about a CD, and I've made a few CDs in my day, and so we talk shop, and he just finished a CD. It's beautiful, and I love it. I play it all the time, mostly when I'm in the shower. I don't know if that means anything, but I just need to decompress, and I put that beautiful album on. And he said, so we got a day where he was in town and I was in town. And he said, hey, can I invite my friend Lisa? She's working on a CD too, and she's a Jersey girl.
And she's an amazing singer.
I know. I did a little research there. I had to check it out. Gene Simpson Dunn is joining us from Illinois. Hi, Gene, right on the Indiana line. Okay, so John just finished your album. Yep. It's called Something Shiny,
Something
right?
Shiny, yeah. That's a lyric from a song that I wrote.
Okay.
That's on the track 2. It's a little snippet of a lyric.
Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin in Massachusetts, my cousin Rena in Massachusetts. They came on at the same time. Look at that. Okay, so Something Shiny is your album.
Yeah.
And it's a lyric. You named your album Something Shiny because of the lyric.
Well, yeah, it was my time it's about I chose all the songs. I wrote 3 and chose songs that had lyrics that represent all these songs are the something shinies that were either written by people that inspired me or songs that inspired me for the 10 years that I actually lived full time and worked in the city.
Okay.
So there's a Michael Holland
I
cover. There's a Tim DePasqua.
Oh my
cover,
God, Tim DePasqua.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan.
I am a fan of his too.
And he's just the nicest guy. He's like the nicest person.
You know, his contribution to the CD is all in the he did arrangements of the songs, and he's the most
he did on your album?
Almost all of them, yeah, and a lot of almost all the keyboards are him.
Really?
He structured them for me. You know what I mean? Like you can say, I want to cover Randy Newman's I Think It's Gonna Rain Today. That's on there. But
right.
Tim was able to give it his spin. I do a You Belong to Me, that Joe Stafford
I love
did.
that.
But he did it in a music box.
You know what's funny? I was going to ask you about all that stuff. Like, I love the arrangement.
That's Tim.
Well, that makes total sense because I'm a huge fan.
He contributed hugely to it, and it's all gorgeous stuff he came up with. We did Sleepy Man.
I love Sleepy Man.
But I do it as it's got like almost I hate to say it, like a boy band feel to it. It's not the typical guitar lullaby.
Yes.
You know what I mean, these are all so lyrically, all the lyrics of all the songs are telling my the feelings that I experienced while I was here.
Right.
Kind of goes in an arc. I'm old fashioned. I think you should listen to an album from beginning to end. Listen,
I'm exactly the same way. I hate people that just flip. Now nobody knows anything about albums anymore. Yeah. Like well, I'm much older than both of you, but what we used to do was, first of all, you'd go to the record store if you knew the album was coming out. Yeah. And you waited in line.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a big deal. You heard it on the radio station. You waited in line. It was released. You ran home, your friends met you there, and you played this album, and you played it over and over and over again. And it made sense from beginning to end. Yeah. And even with my albums, I make sure that there's a storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
So I totally
get that. It doesn't have to be like you write all your songs. And they're
Michael Vaccaro says, me too. Yeah, I write all my songs. But even if I were to do a show.
Yeah, right.
Because on my shows, I do some of my originals, but I do a lot of covers. Yeah. I plan it the same way. Michael Harper's joined us, also a Jersey guy. Mm-hmm. Cheryl Giuliani Rubenstein is out in L.A. Hi, sweetheart. Michael Sawyer has joined us. He's in New York. Mark Katzoff, he's in Boston. Roberta MacGyver, she is in New York. So many nice people, all artistic, wonderful people. So we were talking to John DePalma about his new album, Something Shiny, and George Fernandez, he's in Miami and Kentucky. He and his husband, they live in both places. So we wanted to say hi to those guys. Now, I'm going to go back and forth.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm talking to John. I love John's album. I really, people will send you stuff from time to time, or you buy stuff, whatever, and you listen to it and you say, I like that. And you put it aside. But I just kept playing your album over and over. I was like, I love this album. And a lot of it is songs that I know and I can sing along to, but it was your,
yeah. It was my intention to make sure that every track was singable, because that's the only kind of music I grew up on, vocal music. So if you can't sing it, then I don't have and lyrics are most important. If the song speaks to me lyrically and it has a great melody that you can sing, those are the covers I did. So you got it.
Love it. I love it, love it, love it. And it's relaxing and beautiful. And I personally am a big fan. Let me see your album. Let's show it to everybody. So I'm a big fan of, this is a great cover. Mm-hmm. Great cover. Now, the first thing that came to mind is, boy, he's in good shape, because it was taking me a while to get up from that pose. That's the first thing I thought.
I didn't get up from that pose.
Right. Well, there you go. Okay, good to know. So I didn't feel so bad. But it's a wonderful album, and it's so you have all your stuff here. This is what I loved about CDs.
These pictures, artwork is from my friend Larry Porter, who's an artist in Asbury. The photographs were taken in Asbury by my photographer friend from Asbury.
Wow!
But it's got my New York life in the music, and my Asbury life, which is now with the other contributions.
Well, Asbury is the place to be these days. So there's the back cover. I love it. Yeah. Very nice. And he took the pictures as well.
My friend Tim did.
Wow, yes. Nice work.
Tim Horn. He's a great photographer.
So this is John DePalma, my friend. His album is called Something Shiny. And where can they find it?
It's at Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and if you want the actual disc,
get the disc.
Go to Lee Lessig, lmlmusic.com. lmlmusic.com. It's on that label. He's the distributor for it. Okay. He did my first CD and was gracious enough to take this one on too.
Okay, we're going to go back and forth. So Chocolatine Q Dessert has joined us from Colorado. Hi, Chocolate. How are you? Amazing pastry chef. Mm-hmm. Okay, now Lisa, you and I, because most of the people on my show I know and I know well, have never met.
No, but we have a lot of people.
We have so many people in common.
Lena and Rick.
Lena Katrakis, who I love Lena. We were in Tony and Tina's together and sung for years. And I love Rick Jansen, he's a good guy that's very approachable, but I've always been in awe of him. Yeah, musically, I've always been like, oh my God, that's Rick Jansen. Even though I know him and he's my friend, I'm like, that's Rick Jansen. Because when I first moved here, I remember hearing some stuff that he wrote and was so blown away that I don't even know if we had email back then. When I first moved here in 90, I'm trying to think. No. I think I wrote him a letter about his stuff, and he was really nice about it. But so, I'm always like, oh my God, that's Rick Jansen. So now, Lisa, spell your last name.
It's Yaeger. Okay. Yaeger, like Chuck Yaeger.
Okay, because I asked her what's the pronunciation.
Jägermeister.
Oh, I love it. Okay, that's easy. I love it. So that's your last name. So, and you are currently also working on an album, right?
Yes, we're almost done with production.
Okay. So walk people through, because a lot of our, some of our people have made albums and a lot of them have not. So what's that process like?
Well, first of all,
for you, what was it like for you?
For me, honestly, it was a little. From what you were saying, talking about having the arrangements done and having hire the band and all that stuff. So my music on my album is from my show that I did in 2017 called Jersey Girl.
I love it.
And it's a musical celebration of all of the legends and artists and musicians that grew up in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. So I have
Dionne
Warwick and Janice Ian and Frank Sinatra and Whitney Houston and Phoebe Snow.
And did any of you know that all those people are from Jersey? I bet you didn't.
I didn't know Phoebe Snow was.
Yeah,
me neither.
She's from Tina.
And Janice Ian?
Really?
Yeah. Janice Ian wasn't born in New Jersey, but she lived she went to high school.
Which Janice Ian song do you love? Because I love her.
I'm doing.
Can you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Crocodile song, actually.
Oh, all right. Okay, great.
Fun little kind of.
Yeah.
So that was part of the whole journey too, was finding really not just the cover, the songs that are obviously there are a few. Yeah. Bruce Springsteen. There's Bruce Springsteen.
When you think of Jersey, I think Bruce is one of the first people you go. Of course.
There's Connie Francis.
I didn't know Connie Francis was from Jersey.
She is. My aunt went to high school with her.
She did?
My aunt went to high school with Connie Francis.
Wow.
Aunt Marie.
Was Connie a nice person to hang out with?
She was a couple years older than my
aunt. Okay. Oh, I love that. All right, so this is really cool. So now I understand why the lights went out in New York, so we could be in Jersey for the Jersey show, talking about the album with Jersey songwriters.
Are you going to mention that your show won what?
My show won,
what was, your show was called Jersey?
For outstanding vocalist.
Yeah. This year?
No, 2018.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Listen, Lisa got together with me down in Asbury Park. There's the Asbury Hotel, and on Monday nights they have an open mic kind of thing. And there's a wonderful pianist from Pennsylvania, New Jersey called Bob Egan. Maybe some of you guys might have heard of him. He's terrific, and he has an open mic there. And Lisa came down with me, and we went to it, and she blew the roof off the place. I mean, there's some talent. There's a lot of music in Asbury Park. It's a vibrant music scene.
It's a place to be.
But she got them to be quiet. Nobody was talking when she was singing, and that's a real feat down there.
Now, we were talking about famous Jersey people, and Chris DePiero has come on and said also Chris DePiero is a famous Jersey. Yes. He actually is. He's a great actor. He was in Tony and Tina's with me, and then he went on to do a million other things. And he's actually a filmmaker. He has his own radio show called Live from Jersey. Oh. Hey, maybe you'll have these guys on some night, Chris.
Yeah.
He broadcasts out of Fort Lee.
Oh, wow.
Great show. Mm-hmm. And anyway, Chris does a lot of great things. So we just made a film. Chris, myself, and Susan Campanaro, and it got picked up for a film festival. Michael Vaccaro, we're going to be in L.A. for this film festival. October 11th, I believe, is opening night, and we're the opening film. So I'll let you guys know about that as it gets closer, and then it's coming to New York. It is really exciting. And Chris was he's the filmmaker. So it's really cool. John Sharp has joined us. Matthew Bennis has joined us. Wow. John Sharp is Shanna Sharp's brother. Shanna Sharp is an amazing singer. And John and Shanna and another brother, they own all these restaurants in the New York State area. Violet Carbone, that's my cousin, also a Jersey girl.
See this?
Wow, hi Violet. How are you? Heavy. We're broadcasting from Jersey, Violet. We're in North Bergen tonight, beautiful North Bergen. The city is behind us.
It was so random. Maria called us at like 6:30 and said, "You know what? I don't know if it's going to happen in New York." And I live an hour away. I was almost at the George Washington Bridge.
I know. What did I say?
And she said, "Get off! Don't
cross the bridge."
Went right into Leonia. Went to the Starbucks in Leonia and hung out. So she said. So she said, hit the road
because again. I know if you're coming in from Jersey, you leave early because you never know. It could literally take you an hour or it could take you 2 hours because that traffic is really bad.
Whatever tunnel or
bridge you're coming. Yeah, that's where the jokes, the bridge and tunnel crowd come from. Right? It's true.
There's literally no other way to get in.
So I knew that I live right near the bridge and I'm like, oh, they're going to go over that bridge, which is expensive, first of all. Second of all, once you get over it, then if you had to go back on to... And I didn't know where we were going to broadcast from. I really didn't. I was like, oh, my God, what are we going to do? Should I wait it out and see if the lights come on? Should I take my landlords at their word? And then I said, no. Yeah. Absolutely. It's not their fault. The Con Edison. So even if my landlords have written, it'll go back on at 6. You know how it is.
Yeah.
So I called Judy, and she was like, come on over. And thank God she's one of these people whose apartment is always clean anyway. That would not be me. So I set it up before I got here, and then I just came in and set up my lights and my equipment, and Jimmy was nice enough. So here we are. Now, your show, Lisa, where was your show?
So I debuted the show at the Metropolitan Room, which is
beautiful. I know. That was my favorite sound system.
Me too.
I love all the clubs for different reasons, and they're all great rooms. You know, the Duplex, Don't Tell Mamas, Lori Beachman. I love that room too, right? I almost forgot about that. But the sound quality at the Metropolitan Room was exquisite.
It was.
As a singer, when I would get on that mic, I would feel like a star.
Yep.
I always had JP.
JP
was there.
JP was the sound guy.
He makes you sound great.
I don't know what it is. He's French.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And he's married to Lena's sister.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. How can you not get it right?
Yeah, really.
So you did your show there. It was also called Jersey Girl?
Yeah, Jersey Girl. So that was the show I did. And then I did about 5 or 6 shows. I did Don't Tell Mama, Metropolitan Room. I did Pangea, which is great.
Oh, what's that like? I've never been there.
It's small. It's like you're in somebody's living room. It's this tiny little stage. The sound is really nice. It doesn't have a lot of lights. I think it's like 60.
Wow,
yeah.
perfect.
It's like old school, kind of like, it's in the back of a bar, and Steven is great. Oh my God.
He's the sound?
No, he's the Booker.
Oh, nice to know.
It's just a really nice
Pangea, and that's on 2nd Avenue? Second and second. That's easy. 2 by 2.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm looking for a place in November, December to do a little release gig for this, maybe 2 shows. I was thinking about that.
You should just go check it out.
Check it out. There's so many good places in New York. That's the thing, like there are your regular haunts and all that, but there's a lot of new or quaint little rooms now.
Yeah.
There's that one, I think it's called the Green Room. It's at the
Youngstown.
That's a big room.
Yeah,
that's on 42nd and back. A lot of the show people go there. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah,
I heard that you're not required. It's not. There's no
minimum. That is amazing.
So,
but how do they make money? I think it's in a hotel. That's why.
Yeah,
right.
So it's in the hotel, so they don't care. They just want to get people in there drinking, right? Yeah. All right. Hi, Jackie. So Michael, Jackie Fornatella has joined us. Another amazing singer, Nick Dote. Hi, Nick. I think you're out in LA. I'm not sure. Nick's a great singer and actor. Janet Betta. She's in Connecticut. Hi, Janet. How are you? Okay. So we're talking about both. This is John DePalma and Lisa Yaeger, and they're both amazing singers. They both have CDs. John's has just been released a few months ago. Here it is again for the new people that have joined us. It's called Something Shiny. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Spotify. Where else, John?
And the actual CD, get it on LML Music.
LML
Music.
Okay.
LML. We were talking about it. I still think
I love albums.
Remember
I like the CDs.
Don't you guys? Did you ever have an album that you got when you were a kid? I remember Elton John's Captain Fantastic.
That was not one of my favorites.
Great music. You would
the artwork.
All the artwork in it. You know what I mean?
I love that. I still have a lot of my records.
Me too.
I just found a whole bunch.
I just think that was.
Yeah.
that was important.
Years ago,
to the listening experience, if you look at
that's what we would do.
Liner notes.
Yes, and I used to read all of it. And it's funny that you say that because it's one of the things I like about your album as well is that when I opened it, I was like, oh, this reminds me of like the way it used to be.
Mm-hmm. I found out once through liner notes that Toni Tennille was the backup singer on an Elton John album. She was a studio backup singer.
Isn't that
before
something?
She was part of Captain Tail. Now, if I hadn't read the
liner
notes,
notes,
I wouldn't have known that about her.
Or what used to fascinate me was I all of a sudden became fascinated with songwriters.
Yes.
Because I would know the artist, but I think, like for instance, speaking of Toni Tennille, Neil Sedaka wrote that, and I was a huge fan of Neil Sedaka's. And actually, Neil Sedaka's been on the show, but he called in from LA.
Oh,
really?
Oh my God, and I know him because I opened for him at a gig, and then we became friends.
Oh wow,
he's a great guy. He's got a new book coming out and an album. So if you're a Neil Sedaka fan, that's also one of the.
You know his song "Going Nowhere." You gotta listen to that. You can't believe it's him, the same guy that wrote Calendar Girl.
Right.
Listen to this song "Going Nowhere."
I'm gonna have to. My favorite one though is "Hungry Years."
Oh yeah, it's like that. It's on the same album.
That's what I love. I love that. And The Immigrant. He's an amazing songwriter. But I discovered him as a songwriter, looking at someone else's album, and then I realized he had written a ton of stuff. Like he also wrote for Jane Oliver. He wrote The Big Parade, which I love.
Yeah.
So that's what I, as a younger person, that when we used to have albums, we would open them and you'd sit around with your friends, and that was like a whole evening of going through that. It was really cool.
And they don't, like you can download, like you can get my CD or anybody's CD on Spotify or something. You're downloading it, but you're not getting that.
I like it too.
They discourage you now from printing too many CDs, and I know it's going away, but I did 300 of them just to start, just to see how we go.
Well, I gotta tell you, like, I know they discourage. I mean, now it's changed, but like when my first album came out in like 1998. Yeah, right.
99.
And I ordered 1,000, and then I ordered another 1,000.
Yeah.
wow,
And they sold.
yeah.
And then my second CD, same thing. And then I ordered another because it was like the more you ordered, the more cost effective.
Right.
But also I went through them. And then a couple years ago, I reordered both of them again. And then I have about 300 left of the second because people just don't buy CDs much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's okay, they'll come back and
they're not in the, like I work for Subaru, and they're not in the car.
They're not in the cars
anymore. They're still in as of now, but as of next year, it'll just be an option.
The Toyotas, which I have a Toyota, they're not in the Toyota. Yeah. What you can buy, which I do have, if you need it, is you can plug like an exterior thing
into your car.
Yeah, and you can listen to, or I have a little one that I sometimes, like if I'm going on long trips, I'll do that. But they have their reasons, I guess. I don't know. Like anything else, albums now are coming back, like actual vinyl. You know
what's interesting here? You write all original songs, and your CDs, your 2 CDs were all originals.
Right.
I have 3 that I wrote, but the rest covers. Did you? And yours are
they're
covers.
all covers.
See, so it goes. I'm asking you guys, what did you? I found it. It was difficult to do to put it together. Do you find it any more difficult to construct an album full of originals because you have nothing? You have no template. You have nothing to go on.
Right.
So how do you?
Well, that's a good question.
How do you get them on? How do you get them tracked and on the CD? You just you tell everybody the parts you want to hear. You sing. This
is my process. First, I want to say hi. Julie Angelina's from Australia.
Oh, wow.
She's watching from Australia. Maria Filiamani, also Jersey girl. I miss you, Julie. Julie has an amazing, funny show called The Drunk Housewives of the Real Drunk Housewives of Australia. So you have to watch. It'll come back on. It's real, and she literally is in her kitchen cooking, and she's broadcast. It's brilliant. She's Italian. She's Italian.
That's funny.
But anyway, so what I do. This is how I started. Is I wrote a bunch of songs for children's shows because I was teaching in a junior high, working as an artist in residence. And then a friend of mine, actually Lynn Portis, said, you should put them all together. And so my process has always been first to write the song, of course. I go to either Lynn or Karen Cole or whoever. I've written with a bunch of people, but those are my 2 main people that I write with. And I say, I have a tune in my head. I go there. I have all the lyrics done. And they are wonderful at putting the music to it.
You play guitar.
I play guitar, and I play by ear though, so I'm not a great sight reader, and that's the problem. Yeah. But I've written my own songs on the guitar, and those like Sharon that you mentioned before, and My Mother and the Red Sox. Those are just I wrote. But then there's arrangements involved, and I let them do their thing.
Right, you're exactly right.
That's not my strong point. And so what I am good at letting people do what they do best, and I don't interfere. I may say, like I was saying before, there's certain chords that I love. Like, God, I heard this chord in E flat ninth. Can you play that? And then once they play that, then they know where I want to go with that. Or I say, I want this to sound more like we're in a dream. Or can whatever it is. I want this to sound like it's behind.
The arrangement.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Or like it's a wall of sound, whatever it is. And then we start to layer, then I hire musicians. I will hire different musicians to layer what they, and like, for instance, I have a song called Amputated Skyline, which is about 9/11 that I wrote back then. And what I did was, I have a friend of mine, Jamie Dauber, is an amazing trumpet player, and then Sherry Miracle. They're both with the Diva Jazz Orchestra. She's a drummer. So I had them come live in the studio, and after I recorded everything, and I said, okay, I would like to hear almost like it's taps, like we're going to a military field.
At
the end.
Yeah.
And even the whole thing, I wanted to have that intensity of we're down there. And I want people to get goosebumps and feel uncomfortable. And
it is that, with the arrangement of that song, it's not melodic like you would expect. I mean, it has a little dissonance in it here and there.
Yeah.
So it's all about that.
So and Jamie, that trumpet line is distinctive in the song, and she just wrote that. So I said, just do whatever you want. And it's funny because then we played it live somewhere, and she was like, do you have a chart for this? I said, you wrote it. She said, oh my God, I think I just winged it in the studio. So she had to go back and listen to it. She's like, okay, I know what I did. But that's the cool stuff. I want it to be organic with musicians.
I'm just dipping my toe into songwriting with the first CD, James Followell, who's my music director and co-writer. We wrote one tune on that because I didn't have a song to open my show with, so I wrote something to open it.
I like that.
On this disc, I didn't really have one to end it, so I wrote one and then another one and then a third one. But I don't play any instruments.
It doesn't matter. I don't play them either.
I sing into a digital recorder, and then like you do, I give it to James, and he puts it, he figures it out for me, and then. Again, and then you hear
it and you go, oh,
this is good, or this is good.
Or I want to do something different. Or, guess what? We need a few parts. Or you know what? There have been a few times where there are certain chords that I love, that I want to go to, and say Karen Cole will be like, I'd like to do this instead. And I'll say, let's try it. And then I end up saying, can we go back and do, I really love that chord. And she's like, all right, whatever it is. So but I do let musicians do what musicians do best, which is create. And I'm not a micromanager at all like that.
Any success or anything that I've ever had singing was because I feel like I'm a true collaborator. When I did my first cabaret show, James, I just let him. He chose a lot of the music because he knew my voice better than I did. And it went over well because I just let it go. Sometimes you just have to do that. I know when I'm not. I know when I'm out of my league. Right. And that's what you hire for.
Right, and that's what it is.
With Rick on our.
Oh, well, you have Rick. I mean,
Rick is just genius with the arrangements and just finding. I mean, we would go. Okay, we would choose the person that we want. The musician. Okay, so we chose Whitney Houston, for example. We're going back and forth. Should we use her mom? Would we use her mom? Have you heard her mom? Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah, Jersey Girl.
Yeah, Jersey Girl. Yeah. So we were going back and forth. Should we do Sissy Houston or Whitney Houston? So then, we were trying to figure out which song. And then, there were some songs that we both decided, we like this. Why don't we try? And then just sort of figure out an arrangement for it. Yeah. And then there were ones where, for example, for the Whitney Houston one, where we said, all right, we're going to do I Want to Dance with Somebody. We're just going to do that one. We love it. And then Rick goes, I know. And then he sits down at the piano and it just.
He's a genius.
It was beautiful.
No, he's amazing.
So you're just going,
you know who else does that? Michael Holland.
Michael Holland.
Who I absolutely, he knows how much I admire him. He's one of my idols.
Michael Holland.
How brilliant is. I remember going out with him after the show. He music directed for me. He did a cabaret. He did my second show with me, and we would be out, and he would hear a song on the jukebox. And immediately he starts thinking of another. He's like, he goes, you know what this song is? it's this song. And it was like, oh my God, it's almost, he knows the chord patterns in his head, and he'll say, oh, that's exactly the same as this song. And then he starts putting them together.
He did I see.
I mean,
so he was already putting medleys together.
Wow.
He did the arrangements for Godspell on Broadway, the revival.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
I found out about that like while it was up. Somebody posted about it, and I was like, well, that makes sense.
And he's a brilliant songwriter in his own right.
He's
just a brilliant guy. He put together for my second show. Now is the month of Maying, which is a madrigal from 1545 with Annie Lennox's Little Bird.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
We did like a cappella. Now is the month of Maying, and then it went right into Little Bird. It was brilliant. And thank God, my brother, thank God I have it on, I still have that show on DVD. It's just, I love listening to that, When an arrangement is good like that, when you do a mashup.
But you know what that's about though? That's about trust. Mm-hmm. That is about, on both ends, that's about trusting as a person like a Michael Holland or a Rick Jensen. Mm-hmm. It's about trusting your own talent, saying, this is what I feel, it's almost channeling.
Yeah.
Will Tian Hall does that too. Who I love. We wrote a song together maybe 2 years ago that I have to record. It's really good. It's called This Is My America. It's beautiful. It's about immigration. But he just has this swelling stuff that he does that, because I said I wanted people to feel like we're on a boat coming to America. Yeah. And he created these lush things happening. I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Tim did. When Tim did the stuff on the CD, he put the pad, to start the song. And we were in Kevin Jasper's studio. Kevin was the driving force behind the CD. This guy, anytime I would go away from the project for a while, he was always pushing me. He's brilliant in his studio. Wow. But Tim would sit in there. He'd turn all the lights down, and he would just like start to rock and whatever came to him, however he felt it, and that's all still on there.
That's amazing.
It makes it. I love watching people do what they do.
And trusting them to do it. And that's what it's really about. And then, but also trusting your own instincts. If someone does something, whatever it is, whether it's a director that directs you, where you're like, it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's okay to say, because we've earned our places in this world as artists. It's okay to say that doesn't really feel organic to me. So who directed your show?
Lena Katrakis.
Lena, we love Lena. When I went to your page to friend you, I saw that so many of people that we were friends with, but Lena, I was like, oh, she knows Lena then.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
it was funny actually. We were talking about it because this is my second show. We were going back and forth. What should we do? I couldn't. I was just like, I don't know what to do. And she was actually in my car with me, and I was trying to find parking because we were gonna. And I couldn't find parking, and we didn't have enough time. So she's like, I'll just get in the car. We'll drive around. So we're in the car, and music's on, and all of a sudden, Bruce Springsteen comes on the radio. And we both kind of looked at each other and went, Jersey, that's it. And then we were like, oh shit. So then we're just like sitting there and we're looking at who's from New Jersey. And then that was really
I love it.
That's how it was born.
That's how it was born. And then it was funny too, because then she's like, oh, we could call it Jersey Girl. And then it's funny because I have like a love-hate relationship with New Jersey.
I think most people from New Jersey do.
I couldn't wait to move to New York. I was like one of those, like I'm done high school, out of here,
Right.
And so I was kind of like, oh. And then, but then once I started digging into all the music and all those incredible artists, I started to like. I was Jersey proud. I'm like, all right, this is my state. Like, this is, and it was kind of cool.
It's not to me, I grew up down at the shore, in that area. I've always thought, it's not, what do you think? You came from Massachusetts.
I came from Massachusetts.
I don't think it's such a big leap. Like, it's not like we're from Oklahoma.
Right.
The big city. We grew up in New Jersey where everything was New York every 5 minutes on the television. New York anyway.
Or Boston,
So I just kind of like went, all right. I was living in Rutherford. I was happy there, commuting into my job in Manhattan. Right. But I decided, once I made it, but it's completely different. The minute you cross over, it's a completely different world.
Well, I'll tell you, like I live in New York, of course, and I have since I've moved here from Boston 30 years ago. And I love it there. But I got to tell you, I teach in Morristown 1 day a week, and I started driving out, and I was like, this is kind of nice. And then Judy lives out here, so I'm like, this is really nice. And then, you can park anywhere. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. So when I come to Jersey, believe it or not, I feel like I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like decompressing. And the parking alone. I'm like, oh my God, you mean I can just pull into a space?
Yeah.
You don't have to drive around my block for 40 minutes? So, things like that.
What you do miss, though, I have to tell you, and I said this in my liner notes, the one thing I miss about being in New York, because you don't get as much opportunity out where I live to be good, to be kind to people. You've said that. I think I read something on your website that said, one of the things you love about your bartending work was that you get to hug like 20 people every night.
Oh yeah,
something like that. You did.
I do.
You said
it's
that.
True.
And I think when you're in the city, and this is
right.
my liners, you have at least 10 opportunities a day to do something really nice for somebody. Maybe you pull the stroller up the subway steps with them. You help. You know what I mean?
You're right.
You don't get that connection. You have to really look out here.
Yeah, because
and that was one of the things I missed.
You're in your car a lot.
Yeah, you're in your car.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You're just in and out of places.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I never thought of that.
You're not forced to, on the subway, going to Fordham University where you used to work. You have to look at somebody all the time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That is one of the beautiful gifts of living in any city, but New York especially.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of that, I saw something really amazing. That you're right. These things happen in New York, and I do love. I'm a very physical person. Which, not everybody is. So I always have to be careful but my, one of my nieces is the opposite. She's like, I'll hug you, Zia, but I'm not a hugger, but we were on the train. I was on the train with my nieces cause they came to visit. We went to see Dear Evan Hansen, which by the way, mind blowing. Everything that you want it to be plus. And my friend Lisa Brescia is in it. She lives in Jersey. She's married to Craig Carnelia, and she plays the mom, Evan's mom. And we went to see her, and so we were on the train coming back, and it was so crowded. It was like a Friday night. It was sweltering hot, and I could tell that they're not from here. So they're like, but I saw then their baby started crying, like maybe a 1-year-old baby screaming at the top of his lungs. And the mom was like here next to us, and the baby was screaming. And baby can't stop baby screaming.
There's nothing you can do.
But I really like one of those random acts of kindness. There was a woman literally like a couple seats down that had some candy thing, and she turned around to the mom. She goes, "Hey," and she threw this pack at the mom. She's like, she waved it, and the mom was like. And like in a good way though, here, take it, take my candy. And it was closed. It was, and she threw it, and the mom opened it, and the mom was eating the candy. She gave a little, and the baby was feeding the mom, and all of a sudden the baby was distracted. And everybody was like, look at that, like that. They'll never see each other again. And it didn't seem like shut your kid up. It seemed like the woman was like, I'm a mom. I know what to do. I'm going to help this woman out. And the rest of us, of course, were grateful and all that. But it was just one of those. And I looked at the girls and I was like, that's a New York moment. You can photograph that.
And the difference between New York, those things happening and out here or out in where I live, about an hour away from here, is the opportunity is everywhere in New York City when you're living there. If you're awake, like I say in my liner notes, if you're aware and awake that these things are around you, you can actually do it. And not here. Well, I don't know now if you're on your phone all day. I don't know how many things you're going to miss.
Do you know what I do though? I'll tell you, it's funny because I'm older now, and so most people that I come across are younger than me. It's just the way it goes. So these young people my first reaction is like, man, come on, connect. Like you're so isolated from the world. But I will actually stop them sometimes and say, honey, can you do me a favor? And they're like, what? I said, can you help me? And they're like, sure. They're dying to help. So they will help. Like sometimes I'm carrying a lot of stuff on the subway. And I'm realistic. I'm not the spring chicken I used to be. My legs aren't what they used to be. So I'm like, I have to carry this. And I will stop a boy or a girl that seems like they're, strong. And they're so happy to help. So and also I manage a bar on the weekends, and most of my employees are like millennials. And I have to say, guys, I need your help. And I would never have done that as a younger person because I didn't want to need anyone's help. Right. But it's good. People do want to help. They do want to do the right thing. You'd be surprised. I think the younger generation is just shyer. They don't know if you need them.
Yeah. So then they hide. They're shy. Yeah, you're right.
It's okay to say, guys, come here. I need you. So Lisa, now where are we going with the CD? You're almost done?
So I'm almost done. Well, we recorded the band. So I used all the musicians that I used on stage. So I had
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I had Rick piano. I had bass. upright bass, and guitar.
Was it Marco that played the bass?
It was Tom Hubbard.
Oh, great!
And I had two guitar players because I had so many shows and they all but I used them both. So I have Sean Harkness.
Oh, Sean.
And Stephen Barganetti.
I don't know Stephen.
But
great.
So it was great. And they're both totally different guitarists. So it was very cool to have for each show to have them in even. So it was nice to have them. And they actually played a couple songs together. So I have both guitars.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Sean is everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
Sean, my joke with Sean, because he's been on my show, is Sean gets around. And he laughs. And he's from Massachusetts like me. So we have like a lot of inside Massachusetts jokes. But he's so cute and so nice. And
he didn't remember. He played on this. He played on one track here. But now, some of on a couple of these tracks, the music was recorded a few years ago.
Right.
I've done that. The tracks down, and then you disappear, gets in the way.
Yeah.
And then later on, you pick it up again. He's on track 5 on that. His guitar work.
What is it? Let me see.
If I had words, if I had songs.
Okay, so let's go through some of these. So because when I listened to it, Monster Under These Conditions. I know. I'm a monster under these conditions. Yeah. I love that song, and I love the way because you gave it your own thing, your own connection to the song. Well, I'm used to hearing Tim's,
which is a great version.
I love Tim's version, and I also love your version, and that's why a really good singer, because there's a lot of singers. Some of them are better than others, but to me, a good singer, it's not just about the quality of your voice, which you both are wonderful. It's what you're infusing of yourself in that song.
I picked that song because, listen, everything on here, even though everything on there resonates with me, because somehow, that's me. Monster Under These Conditions. I'm good with people, but don't get too close. You know what I mean? Or
I love. I mean, so many of these. Sleeping Man is beautiful. So many of these, I just love.
And this is Dar Williams.
Blame It on My Youth.
No, The One Who Knows. She's a New York.
I love Dar Williams, actually, but I don't know if I know
that's from her. She's a really her album, The Honesty Room. Was like a soundtrack to my.
Okay, don't have that album. I have the one with the rain.
That's it. That's from
That's
there.
The one.
That song is on
okay.
there.
I'll have to re-listen to that.
So.
But anyway, so what are some of the songs? I won't say what's your favorite, because I know as singers we have many different favorites depending on the day.
Yeah.
And the mood. But what is on your album, when you think about your album, what is the one that you always are like, that one I could just listen to every day?
On mine?
Yeah. Oh. That you feel less stressed about. Like, because I know.
Like you nailed it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's great.
Huh. I have to think, because I have to say,
tell us some of the songs.
There were a couple.
Okay.
I think one of my favorite vocally that I loved, which was I sang Jersey Girl.
Which I love that song.
And the arrangement's really amazing. And we recorded that.
And that's the Holly Cole wrote that, right?
No, Tom Waits.
Oh, yeah. Right. Holly Cole covered it.
Yeah, and so did Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, that I know.
So so we recorded that. I was doing vocal, scratch tracks the whole day with the band, just singing back there and having oh my God, the best time. And then at the end, my producer was like, "Do you want to just record a song?" I'm like, "Sure." So we recorded Jersey Girl, and I loved it. Like what came out, and we were both like, "Wow, that was really cool." And it was like the end of the day, where it happened.
Hardly ever happened.
Yeah, ever. Yeah. So anyway, that was one, and then
I love that.
The other, I don't know. There's a couple good ones. I also sang a Mary Chapin Carpenter song, This Shirt. So she's from Jersey. She's from Princeton.
She is?
She's from Princeton.
Now that surprised me, because she's a country singer.
Yeah.
Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that out there. Let's check with our people. Now, everybody knows my show, and about 9:40 we do a segment of the show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. Because I cook for my guests. Now, guess what, guys? Don't be upset with me. But because I had no electricity in my building, I couldn't cook. And
we're just gonna have to come over to your house.
No, but what we're gonna do is, if you have time, I would like to go to the diner across the street because I'm starving. And there's literally a diner across the street called the Riverview Diner, which is great, perfect Jersey diner, and so that's what we're doing. I know. And how many diners are closing now? But Jersey still has great diners. However, John did bring Now, you have to do it with me, though. So the segment of the show is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. So let's do it. Ready? Segment of the show is called
Go Ahead, Keep Eating.
All right. So John, being an Italian Jersey guy, brought us beautiful pastries. John, tell us where you went.
I went to Del Ponte's Bakery in Bradley Beach, which is down by Asbury Park where I live, and I just brought a box full of this stuff, you know. And I told Maria, my grandmother, her motto was, you don't show when you show up to someone's house, you better be ringing the doorbell with your elbows.
And what does that mean, American kids?
Your arms are so full of stuff
food that you're like, oh, I can't. Right, because you're carrying stuff, and it's true. And anyway, so thank you. That was so true. I've been on the low carb diet, but I'm going to have cannoli. Yeah, because I can't stay on it much longer. Anyway, I can't do it anymore. All right, so Thomas Lyman from Boston. Hi, Thomas.
Yeah, Russ Woolley.
Who's Russ Woolley? Is that one of your friends?
Hi, Russ.
Yeah. All right, hi, Russ Woolley.
Producer. He just produced.
Jeff Campbell.
Jeffrey Campbell is my great friend.
He's Richard Skipper's show.
Oh my God, Jeffrey's from Jersey. Well, he's originally from Arkansas. No, he's an accountant. Okay. However, an incredible classical pianist.
Oh wow!
Incredible, like Rachmaninoff stuff.
Nice.
And I've gone to see his recitals. But he's my great friend. I love Jeffrey.
Hi, Richard.
And Richard Skipper. Richard. How can you not love? He's been on the show twice.
I heard
Did you?
Yeah. He just had a huge success on something, right, Richard?
Where did he do?
Didn't you just do your? Oh, it was last night, right? Yeah.
3 of my favorites. He said, "Richard, we love you."
Richard, you gonna do that show again?
I hope so. I couldn't go because I was working. Richard, he knows I work all the time. I work every night almost. Greg Goodbrode, who's amazing. He's been in so many tours. He's an amazing singer, and he works at Brandy's, and I work with him at Brandy's. Rena Crugnali, what she said, go ahead, keep eating. She knows. I'm telling you, the regulars know.
Go ahead, keep eating.
Love the review. Chris DePiero, where are you? Want to join us? Seriously, you would love Chris. We're going to the Riverview Diner. The show will end at 10. I just have to put my equipment away. Probably about 10:15. You want to join us? Come and join us. You will love Chris. He's a great Jersey guy.
All right.
Okay, grilled chicken with veggies she gets. All right, so we've acknowledged our people. Now, again, I want to remind people how they can get. So your album, how long do you think before it's?
It's
probably, couple months?
Yeah, a couple months probably.
Realistically?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
This is what I would want you to do. When your album is complete and is ready that people can get it, will you remind me?
Yes.
Will you actually?
I will shout it from the rooftops. I'm telling you.
And will you post it on my page?
Yes, I will.
And then I will post it on the What's the Story with Maria page. Because people are doing stuff all the time, and I like to do that. Like people do shows, they send it to me, Marcus and all those, and I put it on the What's the Story with Maria page. Because our listeners then will be like, oh, well, I remember when Lisa was on and John was on. I want to go see her show, or I want to buy that album.
Yeah.
And even though a lot of there's Joe DeChico, also a Jersey guy.
Wow.
Hi, Joe.
Jersey in the house.
Yeah. We're broadcasting live from Jersey tonight, which is the name of Chris DePiero's show, live from Jersey. But we're at Judy Mason's apartment in beautiful North Bergen. And behind us, John, duck a little bit. I know, it's hard to see.
This way or the other way?
No, that's whatever way. It doesn't matter. We have the skyline. It's hard to see.
There you go.
The skyline's behind us. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous here.
I know it is.
It really is. And this apartment's beautiful. So thank you, Judy Mesa, for letting us borrow your apartment.
Thank you.
Now, let me see where we're at. We have about 10 minutes left. Okay, so John, for you, how long did the album take to do?
Well,
because I know these things take years.
They do, and it wasn't. It's been in my mind. This particular selection of songs, with the exception of 1 or 2, changed. But it's been since I released my first one, which was 2003, and then like maybe 2005, I started thinking of this, and I started recording some stuff in 2006. The tracks.
I know, that's what it is.
And I recorded a lot of different tracks. I did a Bruce Hornsby song. We did a Nick Kershaw song. None of that stuff made it. But what happened was, you move. I moved out of the city. Life happens.
Right.
And here we are 17 years later.
I know.
In the last year and a half, I went back and dug it all out, the stuff that I could use, re-recorded any vocals I had done. I just re-recorded them because I think my voice is
better.
Changed in 17 years. I didn't want anything old on there.
Well, that's the thing. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys believe in this, but just the spirit, I feel like energy is in those tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And once you seal it, that energy of that day or that year is in there. I remember a couple of songs, like you just said, that I recorded in certain years, and I thought they were great. And then I went back and listened, and it wasn't that the vocal, like I did mature. My voice actually got it got lower. I changed a certain sound, but I liked it better. It was was warmer. But what I didn't like maybe was that time that I had recorded that. Maybe there was a sadness. Maybe I was in the middle of a relationship I didn't want to be in. Whatever it was, I felt like that energy was encapsulated and forever frozen. Yep. And I didn't want it on my new album. So there was stuff, I get that. I get that.
There's a stridency in some of my vocal on this, that I did, I was trying to put myself where I was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So I sang it like that. But now I'm moving into more, the stuff I'm doing now is, and I was going to tell you this, you don't have to do, everyone's telling me, I'm sure you guys might agree, you don't have to do a whole CD anymore. You record, you get in there, you record one song, you record 2 songs, and you release them as singles, and then when you get 10, you put them together in an album, they're done.
I guess you're right, I never thought of that, because I have 8 songs.
Yeah. So what you would do is go in and record 2 of them.
Right.
And release an EP on Spotify. Just get it out there. You know what I mean? Put it up on your page. Then do 2 more or 1 more. And when you get 8 or 10 that are finished.
See why I love these conversations?
That's such a great idea.
That's the advice I've been getting from Kevin Jasper, my producer. He's amazing. And he's always right. And he said, look, you don't have to do a whole nother project, because what will happen is it becomes overwhelming.
Right.
You think, I don't have the $25,000 I'm going to need to do this. I don't have the time.
People do not realize, folks, let me tell you something. When your friends make CDs, or someone that you admire, or new people, you just met 2 new people maybe, and you're like, I'm going to get their albums. You don't realize the amount of money that a CD and the amount of time, blood, sweat, and tears, man, that requires. So when you listen to someone's CD, just know that this is wonderful. Oh, look at this! It's beautiful, something shiny. I love
somebody to do that.
Every single thing on here costs money, and also time, and so much love and passion. So we are people that love what we do. We're very passionate, and we have jobs that finance our art. I talk to young people about this all the time. I'm like, you can't just think that you're going to be a writer all of a sudden, or you're going to come here and you're just going to be on Broadway. You probably are talented enough to be anything you want to be because you moved here, but it's, what are you going to do in the meantime to make money to finance that? Are you going to wait tables? Are you going to work in an office? What are you going to do? Figure it out, because you're going to need to do it. And that there's nothing wrong with that. I want to tell people there's nothing, you're not selling out. People have said, I feel like a sellout. And I'll tell you what a sellout is: doing nothing, not having any money to do anything, and having to move back home because you ran out of money.
But also, those jobs, I feel like, you learn from all that stuff, and you grow and you meet people. I mean, some of my best friends are from waitressing jobs.
Absolutely.
Over 20 years ago, they're still my best friends.
Yeah.
And I've learned from, you have stories and you have all that to bring to your music.
I love that. Yeah.
So. And I've learned that I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't think I ever was thinking I would be famous, or, though I probably could have auditioned for Broadway shows when I was 10, 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe. But the thing is, I always had jobs so that I could finance my music. So in other words, I've learned to live with the fact that, I work for Subaru. But I also have this amazing thing that I like to do on the side, and I'm okay with it being just what it is.
Yeah,
and
but
if something great happens and you touch people.
Some people
I always feel you gotta have a balance between work and some kind of outlet.
Yeah.
You can't just have your job and your bills.
Right. No, absolutely.
This is what I do, and I'm so happy that I finally. I wanted to do this while my mom was alive, because she was a huge fan of this idea. It didn't happen that way, but you know what? It's done. And somehow I think she passed away, and all of a sudden, I started finishing it.
Right, because that was her wish too.
Maybe,
you're fueled by it.
Yeah.
I believe in that so much that, and we are carrying a legacy, of our parents and our grandparents, that came here from wherever or have been here for generations. But, they instilled in us work ethic. And so we continue and we finish things, and we have their blessing, whether it's here on earth or in heaven, and I completely believe
and their music. This is my dad. I mean, my dad was a vocal. He loved, I don't know about your influences, but he always had Ella Fitzgerald, Ed Ames, Nancy Wilson, Sarah Vaughan. That's all I listened to growing up. And then the Carpenters.
Oh, my favorite.
And then Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? So I had a little bit of everything. So when I always say, when I'm in my mind, maybe it's not coming across that way, but in my mind, I'm channeling Karen Carpenter.
My favorite.
The clarity.
My very favorite.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by warmth. What people forget about Karen Carpenter is it wasn't her highs that were impressive. It was her lows.
That's you, and you have that.
And that's what I love.
Yeah.
You know, but when I listen to her, I think, okay, Maria, you don't have to be the highest singer in the house. Just own what you do. You know.
Well, I studied classical. I used to do all that stuff, and when I came to New York, and I was doing all the theater stuff, and I was singing all that stuff, and then when I found cabaret, I was like, oh, this is
you get to be you.
Yeah, I didn't. You're not that.
You get to honor the singer's job, in my opinion. This is my opinion, is to honor the writer, the lyric.
Yes.
So it doesn't. You don't need all the vocal pyrotechnics. You don't need all that, which is distracting.
Yeah.
You just need to. I want people to dig the songs the way I dig them.
Right.
So I'm trying to sing it so they get it.
Yeah, I love that. And also, Lisa, what you were saying. So probably studying for all that, you had to play roles. So what I love about cabaret is that we would get to see Lisa.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Lisa. Tell your story.
Yeah,
not Lisa playing a role, which I'm sure is beautiful. That's great. But how wonderful and intimate, and what an honor for a listener and an audience member to say, "Wow, I'm that person on stage. I'm going to get to hear and see them in their entirety and their vulnerability and their intimacy and they're trusting me with that." I am always in awe.
And that's a high. That's a high.
That's such a
when you leave a show like that.
Are you kidding me?
I want more.
One of my neighbors, my next door neighbor, Dana, who I love, he's just the greatest guy. He came I did a show a few years ago, and it was just all my original stuff. But I just wanted to do a birthday show. It was my birthday, and I wanted to do it. And he was so cute. He came and sat in the front row, didn't tell me, but he taped it, which, they tell you not to do. But then about a year later, he was like, "Don't be mad at me, but I just want to let you know I did tape it, and I think you'll be pleased. But if you don't want me to, I'll erase it." I was like, "Let me hear it," and it was beautiful because I wasn't worried. I wasn't videotaping it. I just wanted to have a birthday show and do my song.
And he
caught it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Wow, you know what? Like, this is what we do. We bare our souls, and we hope someone likes it."
Yeah.
And I could hear certain audience members like laughing or clapping or yelling stuff out, like my friend Jeffrey Campbell I was talking about earlier. Like I could hear his voice, and and I'm like, wow, my friends were there too, and they care about me, and so stuff like that. Let me just check our time because we gotta go. Oh my God! All right, so Jimmy, I don't know if Jimmy can hear us, but we usually are almost done at this time. Jimmy, are you there? How much time do we have? I'm going to say that a minute. Thank you, Jimmy. So I do want to thank Jimmy Bell. He is our producer and engineer. He's in New Hampshire.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy's an amazing guy. I got a hold of him last minute. Last week, Jimmy's power was out, which was so crazy.
I saw that. It was like out in the middle.
Jimmy's power was out. He came on. He was like, "My power's out." And this week, my power's out. So, Jimmy, they're going to be talking about us. For both. But he's in New Hampshire, and I'm in New York. And we want to thank Judy Mace again because she lent us her beautiful apartment. And John DePalma, thank you. Just beautiful album. Lisa Yaeger, I've never met you, but I know we're going to be friends. I love you, honey.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And please follow both of these people. Thank you. Come back every week, 9 p.m. Eastern. Because let me tell you something about me. Come hell or high water, I will be here. The show will go on.
New York, New Jersey, wherever.
That's it. Okay. Good night, everybody from Jersey.
Bye.
Bye.
It's who I am.